become a trend. It's not like the person that designed it planned it. They may not have known that, you know, that dress was going to become a hit. They just somehow stumbled across it. They put it out. The next thing, people started buying the dress. So a couple of our pieces that we did, you know, people kept on asking for it over and over again. So I think we just try to give something different. Not necessarily that you hadn't seen it before, but you know, you add a touch to it, you change the sleeve, you put something, you mix the colors. We had this patchwork skirt that was like, it was like a, those things really helped us, you know, gain some exposure, and people were always coming back.
Wow. Would you say you went to a form of school to learn, or was it?
No.
Wow.
I've been trying to do that, but I'm never able to get the time. But I want to do that, even if it's just like 2 weeks, just to sort of see, you know, fashion school and see, not necessarily to learn how to sew, because I was saying to someone today that it's not about learning how to sew. That's not really what you need. It's good to learn how to sew, but what you need more is to understand the business, fashion business. It's not, you know, like, unless you want to do it as a hobby. But if you are leaving everything you are doing and you want to face this business, you have to understand the business, how to make 1 turn to 5, you know, that kind of thing. Otherwise, you do it for years and nothing. You can't even do anything. You can't even buy, you know, sweets for yourself. You know what I mean? So you have to understand the fashion business side of things. So I will definitely go to some school, even if it's for a short time.
Do you have runway shoes?
Yeah, I used to organize a show called One Way Abuja. It was quite a big show in Abuja. We did it for 4 years before I stopped. But on my own as a brand, I've gone to Lagos Fashion Week for 6 years every year. I've also been on African Fashion Week in London, African Fashion Week in Lagos. I've also done some fashion shows here in Abuja. So yeah, we've done quite a few fashion shows.
I'm just putting it out there, trying to shoot my shots. If you need a plus size model,
I know. Are you in Abuja?
No, I stay in Lagos.
Lagos. Okay, but we can work something out.
Yay.
Because the truth is that yeah, people relate more with like fuller bodies. It fits better, you know. Even when we make clothes now, you know, it's not that I'm saying people who are small, like size 8, is not, but those are not the sizes that sell. Do you understand? So those are not the sizes that sell. Let's just be honest, you know. So yeah, definitely we can work something out.
I'm going to, you know, send you a DM after this.
Please send me a DM. Honestly, please do.
Thank you so much for that. Who would you say is your biggest mentor in Nigeria or around the world?
Wow. I follow quite a few people because they inspire me so much. I really like Real Worry Pekin. I even had a live with her, and that day was amazing because her story was so inspiring, everything that she went through, and she dropped so many nuggets. One of the most important ones that I even quoted on my stories today was that she said, Instagram now my NNPC, Instagram now my kiosk. And I laughed because I said that makes sense, because if you're doing business on Instagram, you need to show up every day. There's no, oh, today I don't feel like tomorrow, because this is where your money is coming from, right? So do your best, show up, be active, because this is where your money is coming. And I love that she was very real about that. Like, look, this is where I get my deals. This is where people send me DMs and say, we want to book you for this show.
I was going to ask how social media has influenced your business.
Okay. It has changed. The first thing is that when Instagram first started, people were telling me to join. I was like, what's this, please? I wasn't really, I don't know, you know. I was just in my own world. But I wish I had joined earlier, but I didn't. But eventually, when we joined, I have to say it has been fantastic. I mean, how else will you connect with somebody in like Belgium or in the US? Sure. They can actually see your picture, reach you, message you, you ship the dress to them. It has been phenomenal. It's a game changer. If you are doing business, you absolutely have to be on Instagram. I love social media because I love the fact that anything can happen on social media.
Yeah.
You can just be here today. Your video is so funny. Someone just takes it and you just blew. So for me, it's amazing. I just think it's just an amazing platform.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of, speaking of wishing to go back, or speaking of, I'm sorry, speaking of joining Instagram earlier, what would you say apart from that factor? What would you say you would change if you had the opportunity to go back in time?
I would travel more.
Okay.
I mean, I have traveled, but I wish I had traveled more, like more places. Especially now with lockdown. Now you're just like locked down. You can't really move anywhere. So you now start thinking of, I wish I had done this, but I definitely want to travel more.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure. Me too.
yeah.
In case you are looking for, a handbag, I'm just planning to, shoot my shot tonight.
Please sell yourself, sell everything.
So apart from fashion, what else do you do?
Okay, so I in my spare time, I'd like to say I create content. I love creating content. I think it's so much fun. Ever since I was a child, I loved adverts. I always used to imagine adverts, like if I was holding water, how would I sell it? If I was, so I've always liked adverts. So I kind of understand now why I like content creation, because it was in me since. I always dreamt about working for an advertising company. I never did, but that I feel like content creation, I would say, is one of the things that I do actively with other people's businesses and things. Apart from that, what do I do? I like to hang out a lot. I think I'm an extrovert. I like to go out, meet people,
Yeah.
interact, network, and all that. I influence for a few brands as well. So yeah, and all these I started like a year ago, so it's been pretty good. Because I was always living under my brand. I never had like my own life on Instagram, but like a year ago, I decided, okay, you know what? I want to have my life outside of my brand. My brand can run the business. I don't have to be, and I can use my own self to do something, So
Checking
far,
your
so good.
page, yeah. Checking your page, I realized, or I saw that you have live session with people. You talk about the stuff. Is that profitable, or is it just something you do when?
So it was something that started from boredom. When lockdown started, I was just like, and I had never done lives before. It wasn't something that I ever thought I would do, because even when on my business page, some of my team members be like, "Oh, we need to do more lives." I'll be like, "No, I don't want to do lives. Nobody, no. Oh, please, let's do lives and talk." I'll be like, "No." So I never even considered it. But during lockdown, I just thought, I used to see people doing lives. I'm like, you know what, I can do this. And I also thought that it would be interesting to talk to people about how they've struggled in their journey, even though they seem successful now on Instagram. When you see them, you're like, wow. But let's talk about the things that happened to you when you were getting there, not just like now that everybody sees you. And I love it because people tell you things and you are shocked. They'll tell you how one customer came to fight them, came to arrest them, and you're like, you that you're like big, So it's really, yeah, it's really nice. I have learned so much personally from just doing these lives. So no, it's not a money thing. It's just a thing I do. I've been doing because of lockdown.
But yeah, is NSC part of the brands you
Brand.
influence?
No, so I influence for a company called Le Drop, and under Le Drop is Glenfiddich, Remy Martin, Laurent Perrier, Champagne, Control, and Jagger Master. So those are the drinks that are under it. So no, Hennessy is under a different brand.
Okay, okay. What would you say inspires you when you are about to create new designs? What would you say? How do you get your new designs?
Um, a lot of times it's like really, really random. It's just like I just think about something. I'm just like, I want to just try this thing. It's never really. Sometimes it's inspired by something I see on TV, something
Yeah.
I'm watching like Netflix. I see it, I'm like, wow, this looks nice. Maybe I can change this and change that. Sometimes it's like, something I see from like the olden days, like the 50s. And I'm like, oh, this looks nice. We can do something, maybe use Ankara, change it. But a lot of times it's just really just the imagination. What makes it a great dress that people buy is when the customers now start buying it. Without the customers buying it, there's no way that I would ever know that the design was nice. It's because for the feedback,
Yeah.
as people are buying it, then I'll be like, oh, great, great, great. So yeah. So that I would say those are my main inspiration. Sometimes the weather, sometimes, well, different things.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of being a designer?
I think the joy I see in people when they wear pieces. There's something
The
that
joy.
thing does. Yes, when somebody wears your dress and their face lights up and they're like, in fact, they start dancing. They're so
Yeah.
excited. I think that really does it for me. That does it for me completely. Like, it's so amazing to see how people respond to pieces that you design and they're like, oh, I love it. Oh my God, it makes me feel so happy.
Well, if you had the opportunity, would you change the way Nigerians see fashion compared to how Americans see?
Hmm. No, funny enough, no, because Nigerians love to shop, and me, I like people that shop because they spend their money. So I would say no. I like the fact that Nigerians love to shop. Nigerians are very dressy and very colorful and flamboyant, and
True.
that's sort of like how I would describe my sort of taste in fashion. It's a little bit edgy, but with caution. So I'm not extremely edgy, but I like something different. I always say in fashion, everything has been done. We're not doing anything new. Everything
Yeah.
there's no new design that you say that I've never seen.
I've never
You
seen
say
this. Yeah.
maybe they took something and they changed something. So I say that in terms of my my interaction with Nigerians and their love for fashion, I love it. I wouldn't change anything. I love the way we shop. I love the way we view fashion. I like how experimental we can be. We like colors. We're not afraid to wear. When people they always look at Nigerians like, God, you guys are so extra. You're so dramatic in terms of your fashion. I love it. I think it's amazing. I love it.
Wow. So we've talked about the favorite thing you like about being a designer. What's the hardest thing?
Hmm. The
What's
hardest
the
thing about being
hardest
a
and what do you hate the most?